Aaron Smith grew up on an Ontario fruit farm on the Niagara Peninsula. His farm roots, working in ski areas, traveling a lot, and learning how to market product and people prompted him to found an online community called GoVoluntouring. It is my pleasure to welcome Aaron Smith to Studio 4 to tell us more about GoVoluntouring. Okay, let's go.
Thanks, Fanny.
What does it mean, volunteering?
It's a hybrid travel alternative. It blends traditional sun destinations in many cases with volunteer opportunities on the ground.
Who coined the phrase? Any idea?
Yeah, it's about 6 or 7 years ago. I'd love to meet the person, but don't know who actually coined it.
And I'm assuming when you go volunteering, you have to do some work along the way.
A little bit of work is integral for sure.
How did you get into it? Why?
Well, you know, I've gone volunteering myself over the past, especially the last 5 or 6 years in Africa and in Central America. And it felt like an amazing experience that needed to be framed differently, packaged easier, and presented to more people, make it more mainstream. That was, you know, what my goal was.
So that's the farm boy and the marketer in you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Is it not? So when you did your first stint, where were you? What did you do?
Yeah, I dug. It was pretty much all I did was dig holes. But we were building a house with my father.
Gee, that sounds fun.
Yeah, no, but it was good. There was a single mom in Costa Rica and her few kids. We were with a volunteer placement firm, and we went down and built a house for her over a few weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
And you don't get paid?
Right. In fact, you pay.
You pay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which surprises people.
Yeah. When you say you pay, the airfare.
Right.
What about accommodation when you get there? Do you stay with the family
in a lot
in
of
the
cases,
village?
there's a package. There's so many different ways
Of
to package this type of experience up, but in many cases, homestays or eco lodges are part of the week price tag.
Sure. But you know, a marvelous way to take your spoiled children,
Right.
your spoiled North American children, and they're not all spoiled, but
Sure.
you know, it's a wonderful education, great learning experience to take a child who goes to school in a trendy spot
Right.
to Costa Rica or a third world country.
Yeah, you know,
Tougher place.
It's eye-opening for everyone that goes, and when you get off that path of the all-inclusive resorts and see what life is really like, it's startling. It's you certainly appreciate most would appreciate what you have back here in Vancouver.
Right.
It's good exposure.
So when you were with Dad,
Right.
you had skills to dig holes.
Yeah, I had hands and a shovel.
Exactly. But is Dad a builder? So I guess my real question is, do you have to know what you're doing before you get there, or can you just be keen?
Yeah, well, it's somewhat contextual. We've got a lot of programs where definitive skills are needed, whereas other ones are, we need enthusiasm, we need your back and your hands, and
Sure.
and you don't need a skill set per se to get right in.
What if you're a great soccer player?
Right. We've got mentoring soccer. We have one in the Maldives, which is
Really?
if they're looking for soccer coaches. Crazy.
How much fun would that be?
It would be amazing.
So you pay to do that,
Right.
to get there,
Right.
essentially, and then I'm assuming the accommodation isn't 5-star.
Again,
Necessarily,
it depends.
depends.
Yeah, sure. There's amazing resorts that have offered up their rooms at greatly discounted rates because they see this as community empowering, and it
Sure.
leaves an economic legacy and bridges cultures, and so there's a lot of people that are starting to get behind this movement.
It's a great idea. Teach a man to fish.
Sure. Yeah.
He'll be able to support his family, or teach a woman to fish. She'll be able to support her family.
There you go.
And that's in essence some of what it's about. What about thornier issues? Abused women. I was reading on your
Yeah.
site that there's, I think, some opportunity in the Philippines.
Right. These are, again, these require certain skill sets.
course.
You've got to have a social working background. We're just not going to put anyone off the street into a program like that. But there are opportunities there to go and work, and in many cases they're in supporting roles, and that's very important. You are there to contribute, in most cases, not necessarily to lead. You still need locals, local project managers and that local help, and in many cases, they're the ones that are learning from you,
Right.
and you're exchanging skills back and forth.
Okay, so who vets the person who goes? Does somebody say, you can go to the Philippines and work with abused women because you worked here
Right.
in a battered women's shelter or
There's a
something
lot of
like
vetting
that?
that's going on here. But in that instance, it is the volunteer program. So that nonprofit in the Philippines or whoever it is that's
Okay.
running that would be the one that would receive your application, process it, lots of one-on-one time, and just to make sure that you're the right match.
If you're a teacher
Right?
on summer halls
Sure.
or vacation, options?
Yeah, Italy. We've got Italy, Greece. We've got Morocco.
Caribbean?
Yeah, we've certainly got the Caribbean.
sounds good.
South Korea. That was our latest one this week.
Really?
Yeah.
And what do you do? Are you a teacher, a teaching assistant? You're teaching language? What?
Again, it depends on the
Options?
skill. In most cases, it's teachers' assistants. That's for sure. You are maybe leading crafts in English. You could be taking over a certain subject over the course of your time, but being there to interact in English first is generally what's going
Sure,
on in a classroom setting.
So Cambodia, take me to Cambodia, working with street youth in Cambodia.
Right.
One of the
again,
options.
it's a certain skill set. Social working is the background that's needed. But you go into Cambodia, you work with street youth, nonprofits or organizations on the ground. You give them some support and get involved with the kids there.
Right, and again, you pay your way, but
Right.
when you get there, somebody takes care of you or not. You
Everyone-
have to. It's like you're
right.
going on a holiday,
Sure.
essentially, but you're helping out. You're doing something from the heart.
Right, and in most cases, people are adding on, so it's kind of a component in a bigger trip. So that 2-week trip to Cambodia, in a lot of cases, has 1 week volunteering, and then the other week seeing the sights and visiting Angkor Wat, or wherever you're going to go. That tends to be the packaged experience.
I'm sure it's a great way to really immerse yourself in the culture and the everyday life.
For sure, no question. You are seeing things outside of those all-inclusive walls.
Right, you're not in the 5-star
No.
American hotel where everything seems like home.
Right. There's no challenges in that environment. These ones are challenges. Whether they challenge your spirit or your physical capacity, these are speed bumps that you will get over the course of
Sure.
that time, and you're better for it.
Great opportunity for, say, a university student. Say somebody wants to be down the road, a marine biologist,
Right.
work in marine conservation. They can go swim with dolphins,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, you can tag dolphins. There's behavioral research. Earthwatch is an amazing organization that we partner with that has 6 or 7 dolphin conservation programs on our site right now.
How about lying with the pride of lions?
Oh, isn't that-
Maybe with the cubs, those lion cubs, the wildlife rehab in South Africa. Have you done that?
No, I haven't done that one. Certainly bucket list, though. That is, in many cases, those are orphaned lions that have been abandoned either through game parks or, and they rear those young lions before they set them free again. But there's a lot of work that goes on in those rehabilitation centers.
Yes, I have a friend, Dan Greenberg, great writer, and lives in New York, but he wrote a book about his first experience with lions
Yeah.
and cubs and all of that. And apparently, when you tap them on the nose, you have to really tap them on the nose. You just don't
They don't get it?
pat. No, you have to give them a good whack, and then they're okay because he told me that you have to establish the fact you are the alpha male.
Sure.
So somebody guides you. You don't just go
Absolutely.
in there wet and not have any idea.
There's always the support mechanisms in place. You are in a controlled environment in every instance on any one of these programs. There's project managers that are working right beside you, local people contributing alongside, and you're a missing piece of that chain. That's
Sure.
important.
So did you work in Guatemala? Did you tell me?
No, I've done
No.
Costa Rica, I've done some Nicaragua, and spent some considerable time in East Africa, in Kenya and Tanzania.
Uganda, no.
No,
Kenya?
not quite. Next time.
Oh my, a zebra or two in the mix?
We did see the big 5.
Mayan families need medical assistance in Guatemala, as
Right.
you know, so that's an opportunity if you're
Sure.
a doctor.
Yeah, or nurse.
Or nurse.
Dentist. Any healthcare
Surgeon.
practitioner. We have a project in Sierra Leone with Mercy Ships, who's an outfit out of Victoria, world's largest floating hospital. They're desperately in need of medical service volunteers.
And do you find that people really want to go who work in the field? And by that I mean, so your day job is taking somebody's brain apart. Do they really want to go away to a foreign country and do the same thing?
It's not for everybody. Some do. Some see it as an opportunity to give back and share what their skills and their education and the things they've been blessed with.
What's the Africa climb?
Peaks Foundation. So this is women only, and it's unbelievable. So it's 3 peaks in 3 weeks. You climb the mountain, and that's kind of like the vehicle to get all of this change done.
Okay, it's not a hill.
No, these
It's
are legit.
on belay.
These are.
So you have some mountain climbing experience.
No, just more like a hike, how you'd hike Kilimanjaro.
Oh, tough hike.
Right, big hikes. But there's villages and towns along the way, and you stop in on all of these on your way up, and you spend a few days providing some community support, or maybe you're building the end of a school.
Right.
You're leaving an economic footprint, of course, on everywhere you go, and then on the end of that, you've done your 3 peaks. It is. I don't know how you could combine any more into 3 weeks than what the women at Peaks Foundation are delivering.
That sounds fabulous.
Unreal.
And it's all female.
Yep.
Young, old, in between.
It's
no age limit.
I think you've just got to have a fitness,
a big
perhaps
spirit,
a fitness limit.
Perhaps, and be able to work in high altitudes, all of that. But it had something to do with midwives, one of the trips.
That's right. It's all of the funds that are raised, and you're required to do a bit of fundraising before you go in this particular program. All those funds raised go to support midwives in the communities that they visit.
What a
Unreal.
great program,
Yep.
Yes. Now, Mexico, take me to the Baja.
Okay.
With the turtles.
Well, there's a bunch of sea turtle projects we have all over the world, and they certainly are our most popular, most visited programs on the site. In Baja in particular, just north of Pescadero, there's a place called Magdalena Bay, and this is, it allows a lot, and which is great because it's good for families. It allows you to get in and patrol the beaches at night, so you're making sure that predators and poachers aren't coming in to steal the sea turtle eggs. You're helping the wildlife conservation officer tag and do research audits during the day, and you're just helping sea turtles make
And
it
you
through.
don't have to be a genius to tag a turtle, I don't think. I don't know, I tagged red-tailed hawks.
I could probably find a way to
with
get
somebody
it wrong.
who knew how. No, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
It's just that you had the experience, so it's so...
Again, perfect one for the kids as well. They learn the impacts of biological diversity and ecosystems and what that means.
Do you have any volunteering in dangerous places in Afghanistan or
No.
a war zone?
Absolutely
no,
not.
Leave that to the Doctors Without Borders and people like that
Right.
who need to go in to help. So there is a safety factor,
Sure.
in essence. I mean, any country can be dangerous.
Absolutely.
It's just how it is. How did you manage to put all this together? Where did it begin? I know you were raised on the farm growing peaches.
Peaches, grapes, apples.
Right,
yeah.
and you got into marketing, tourism. You were at Silver Star Mountain.
Right, yeah, so I ran a bunch of bars up at the Star, which
That was like a tough winter.
I came
or
out
two.
to do one ski season at Silver Star,
Right.
And I just never went home. And
It's
that's
magic.
There's people all over the city that have that same bio.
It has the same feeling, Silver Star, as ski hills used to have.
That's right.
It's not.
Bit of Wild West.
It's a little Wild West, great snow.
Sure. Yeah.
I understand. So what made you leave Silver Star?
I think I just had to grow up at some point. You couldn't be a ski bum all your life.
All that.
Yeah. And serving beer every night was
Sure.
as fun as that was. It needed to.
I understand, but
close that
free
chapter.
skiing in the day.
Sure.
Hey, what about the Flight Center connection to what you do and the website? How does it all work, come together?
First of all, Flight Center is, if you don't know already, they're an amazing corporate citizen. And this was an evolution of towards responsible travel, which this company was already going in. So they were aware of what GoVoluntouring was doing. We approached them to see if we could, share some software, and they took great interest in it, and so they followed along for a few months. And 10 days or so ago, we signed a
Hopped on
contract,
board.
and they acquired us, which is amazing with what
They
the plans that
acquired you.
They did.
What does that mean? You're going to become a millionaire or something, or not?
It's a long way to go.
I see. But the new website, there is a
Sure.
new website, right?
In the works, yep.
If someone wants to go volunteering, how do they do that? How do they connect?
Well, right now, the current site, which is still very usable, of course, there's 7 search filters. You just go onto the homepage, tell me what country you want to go, select it from 64 different countries, add in your time frame. You've got 2 weeks or a month, whatever you have, your budget, your fitness level, your age range, your faith, if that's important to you. Hit view results, and the engine spits back projects tailored to you.
Go in and say, I'd like to test liquor at the bar.
Sure, that's not going to be an option on our program, but if that's
you never know.
Sure.
I thank you.
Thanks, Fanny.
Nice to meet you. Aaron Smith, Volunteering, new website coming up.